because his role in the incident was the most violent.
It was barbaric. This is something that doesn't happen in civilization, much less in Kinston, North Carolina. It was disturbing. Very satisfied we were able to identify everybody involved because mostly everybody that was involved in this was somewhat young, or at least 40 and below, and there's no telling what else they could have done in the coming years had we not gotten these people off the streets.
News reaches Jack Davis's friends that police have arrested 6 people in connection with his murder.
That's something that you really can't put into words. When you see on the news that they've arrested several, people, you just want to know why did it happen.
I felt like it was just totally senseless. These young people ruin their life over trying to steal a few measly dollars.
Phoenix Hannibal and Infinity Jones both plead guilty to second-degree murder. Adrian Lopez pleads guilty to robbery with a dangerous weapon. Jonathan Ordonez pleads guilty to first-degree burglary. These 4 receive sentences between 4 and 16 and a half years. Johnny Sanders and Jaime Torres plead not guilty to first-degree murder. At their trials, prosecutors stepped through the events that led to Jack Davis's murder.
Jaime and Phoenix, they knew Jack Davis Jr. They were limited friends. They would go up there and visit him from time to time.
Thanks, my man.
They were aware that he sold an RV for a good, sizable amount of money. In their minds, there was a substantial amount of cash located in the house. On the evening that Jack was murdered, the plan took place for everyone to meet at Phoenix's residence. Phoenix was to drive Johnny and Jonathan. Adrian drove Infinity and Jaime in his vehicle, so they took 2 separate vehicles to Jack's house, dropped everybody off.
Jaime Torres and Infinity Jones entered the house first. Jaime tackled Jack Davis. They started fighting. Mr. Jack Davis was getting the better of Jaime. Infinity picked up a police-style flashlight and hit Jack Davis with it. Jack took the flashlight. She opened the door for Johnny Sanders and Jonathan Ordonez to come into the residence. Johnny Sanders saw Jack Davis was getting the better of Jaime Torres. He started beating Jack Davis over the head with the short shotgun. At this point, Jack Davis stopped fighting. At that point, Jonathan Ordonez left out of the house. The other 3 remainers, Infinity Jones, Jaime Torres, Johnny Sanders, grabbed some items from the house and left the scene, leaving Jack Davis there to die essentially. Once they left with Mr. Jack Davis' pickup truck, they drove to Craven County. Johnny Sanders parked the pickup truck on the side of the road, wiped it down, and then they went back to the residence where it was reported that they split the money in Jack Davis's wallet.
The whole reason for this orchestrated attempt to steal Mr. Davis's money he had just come into from the sale of his RV was all flawed because after we conducted an investigation, it was determined that Jack Davis had actually placed his money in the bank where it would be safe, and not his home. And Mr. Davis was such a large pillar of the community, and he'd done so much to help the very people that killed him.
He was killed and murdered because he was a giving person and wanted to help people out.
As a result of the trial of Johnny Sanders and Jaime Torres, both were found guilty of first-degree murder, and they were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. while we can't bring Jack Davis back, it was somewhat satisfying the fact that we did solve the case and we were able to get justice for Jack Davis and Jack Davis's family.
The video in this case was what broke the case. Without the video, it would have been extremely difficult to piece this together. I don't know if we ever would have solved it without the CCTV.
I don't think that Jack would want us to just continue to mow. We just have to pick up and just keep it going.
I miss Jack's friendliness in the neighborhood, his kindness, his giving spirit, cookouts.
Jack, you are very missed. Wish that you were still here. Miss the conversation, miss the smile, I miss the joke, and I just miss seeing him coming and going. Would love for him to still be here on our block in the neighborhood.
I'm turning 40 and I want to start strong. I just hope I can keep up.
Whitney is expecting some perfect love connection.
But here I am collecting cats and heartbreak. What is happening?
Your sexual energy cleanse.
Just when I thought all hope was lost. You never know what's just around the corner.
Brand new, My Big Fat Fabulous Life starts Monday at 9 on TLC.
Discovery Plus is the streaming home of TNT Sports.
This is the place to be.
Feel like the boss with our interactive features. Watch that last-minute winner on repeat. Absolutely speechless! Switch between matches at the press of a button. Easy. Never miss a goal and always have something to talk about. So, what are you waiting for? Get involved with Discovery Plus, the streaming home.
The victim had been shot. That was publicized, but not where she had been shot. And that they were hired by a baby daddy.
Name given to us of the young gal that was bragging about doing the murder was Angelica Kendall.
Detectives suspect this could be a fake name.
I'm looking into the Angelica social media accounts. There's about a dozen different platforms that I know are hers because a lot of the same photos are being used.
And
I think I'm onto something.
he found out just one tiny little post about Angelica's real name, Alexis Hale.
They searched through images and videos posted by Alexis around the time of the murder.
Look at this. The pistol she was holding in these photographs was a High-Point C9 pistol. We believe that's what fired the fatal bullets.
Look at this.
She is videoing someone in a mirror. So you see her pointing the camera, and he's on his phone and he's vaping and looking at something on his phone. One of our tipsters mentioned that Alexis spoke of being with a boyfriend, and we ended up getting a name, and that name was Jared Phelps.
Wait, what's this?
In the night Alicia was murdered, Alexis took a video using her phone through the windshield of the car.
Kind of bragging about a trip and being somewhere.
You mind a couple seconds?
There. Sign.
And I was able to get a known location by the street sign.
It put then, within a minute of the video from the neighbor of Kevin's house showing that car arrive.
Take a look at this.
One of the videos we got was recorded at 3:47 in the morning of September 20th. So this would have been after Alicia's murder. And this video portrayed Jeremy, named Jay, on social media with a handful of $100 bills, $20 bills, and he's fanning them in front of this camera. That was hugely important because the tipster said they were hired and paid roughly $2,000. Eric and I were able to count just a little bit more than that in Jay's hand.
With Jay, I am able to then find some stuff on Facebook. So I kind of went through some of those posts and found a photo. That picture has, 5 different comments on it. One of them comes from an aunt of Jay. And when I get into her photos, I immediately recognize that lady as Kevin Lewis's mother.
That's crazy. When we finally made the connection that he turned out to be Kevin Lewis's cousin, it was just a jaw-dropping moment. We got photos of Jay's car from Google Earth. His car was parked in front of his residence when the Google car drove by, but it had this odd wheel. Holy smokes, that is Jay's car.
We have enough now to make an arrest in this case.
Go to town.
Feed your urge with a cheese loaded, topping pie, Golden based Chicago town pizza. We go to town so you can.
There's a big sensation sweeping the nation. It's now time to get our citizens to the biggest ever prize bonds.
In the December draws, you and your neighbours could win a share of £32.5 million.
Whether you own or rent, absolutely any door can enter.
Win a share of £32.5 million. My door's in the draw.
And mine.
So is mine.
Just kidding.
Your door in the draw inside before midnight on the 1st of December.
A share of £32.5 million could be yours, but only if your door is in the draw.
Kindness isn't just looking after everyone else. It's looking after yourself too. Zarbee's cough syrups blend honey with scientifically proven naturally sourced ingredients to relieve any dry or chesty cough. Zarbee's. Kind and effective and new Zarbee's throat mixers for people and supports immunity.
Hello, Helen. Looks like you could be missing out on savings on your mobile bill. It's time you woke up. At Uswitch, our experts negotiate with providers to get exclusive Black Friday season deals, so you could switch and save. Uswitch. We put you first.
Richmond, good times. I am the same, and I like switching fast. And now fast. Just got better. Fast, just got better. New Persil Water Wash. Blast away invisible dirt and sweat. Our personal detergent designed for shorter cycle. Better on odor, better on fragrance. New Persil Wonder Wash. Fast, just got better.
This year, go all in on joy with our beautifully crafted lifelike trees. Save up to 50% during our Black Friday sale at balsamhill.co.uk.
This Christmas at Asda, bring the party known with offers like 4 for 3 across our festive range of frozen party foods, like our mini fish and chip sliders, garlic bao balls, Thai red curry Santa hats, and our melted mozzarella sticks starting from £1.50. Perfect for sharing with your nomies.
Ooh, looks like someone couldn't resist.
Asda, that's more like it.
Tempting chunks of rich chocolate, irresistible crumbliness, and a generous layer of thick milk chocolate. Fabulous. Fox's Fabulous Half-Coated Cookies.
Join me and the Star Squad this Christmas only at Freeman's.
Want your Christmas to look like this?
Or like this. Well, avoid disaster. Start Christmasing early.
Look at that, it's starting to snow.
The finest festive chefs.
You won't want this.
The best tips and tricks.
Single malt whiskey. See that way?
Make sure Christmas looks like this.
Oh.
Not this. Come get Christmasing early with Novembermas.
Yum. Where's the champagne?
On Food Network.
Quiet on Gun, Wednesday 11 at Plus Radar, Screen Painter Series now in discounted class.
Big entertainment, it's small moments. Sky Vegas sponsors evenings on Quest Red.
Alright, time came to make the arrest. Being out of our own jurisdiction, we gotta reach out to the local municipalities and the sheriff's office, get additional resources. You gotta figure out, who you wanna go arrest first.
Investigators find an address for Alexis, 300 miles away in Spokane.
We chose Alexis because I felt that being a juvenile, she'd already run her mouth once. She might do it again.
Get off of me! Get off!
There was some screaming going on. You can't arrest me. I'm a juvenile. You can't do this. She was very tight-lipped and immediately asked to speak with her attorney.
She clearly knew what we were there for and why. And then really the shutdown became very cold.
With Alexis refusing to talk, detectives tracked down Jared at an address an hour south of Everett.
It was important to have him tell me who hired him, who put him up to this. We had already dealt with Alexis. She gave us nothing, so our only shot was going to be with Jay.
You've got a long line ahead of you. You're in trouble right now, but how much is going to be up to you. I've been in your social media. I know a lot of things that you don't know that I know. I know about the money. I know about you flashing the money. So I know about all that stuff. And I know who got you into it, but I need you to voice it to me. I mean, it seems like you got a pretty good story put together. We know what you're talking about. Okay. Who was the person that put you up to this? Yeah, I just don't know how much me telling you what you don't already know. It's not gonna help me. If a person is not wanting to be honest, if they're not wanting to provide any information, then the legal system is going to be less likely to offer you any kind of leniency.
Well, I'm offering different ways for him to tell me, and I was getting nowhere with him.
When did you realize that the person that you were hired to kill was not the person that you killed?
Great question.
When did you realize that the person that you were hired to kill was not the person that you actually killed?
I didn't realize.
The person that you were hired to kill was not home that night. Her sister was babysitting the kids. If I were to put out a picture of the person who led you into this, would you be willing to pick him out? No. Okay, that's fine.
There was nothing that was helping us. I was striking out.
You find a family member and you set them up to do this while you sit at home. And then the likelihood of them getting caught is pretty high. He set you up. Straight up. Set you up. Don't cover for him. It hurts you. That's my advice. You know, and I know we're talking about the same person. So, let's get out of it. What's his name? Why don't you give me his name? Because that's the honesty part I want out of you.
If we both know who it is, what difference does it make?
If you don't want to tell me his name, that's fine. I'm not going to hit you up for it anymore.
His name is Kevin.
I was dumbstruck. I was thinking, that didn't actually work, did it? I knew that this was going to be a pivotal moment where he's going to start giving up more information. Jared had agreed to go back to the scene with us in my truck, and Eric recorded him as he was speaking to me.
When I initially took Kevin here, he just showed me where the house was, and I turned around and I was taking him back to his home.
So now, when you come back,
Wow.
where'd you park?
Right there, so.
You really was able to on scene dial in some of those details even more.
So, what do you remember about this driveway?
I remember walking on the left side over there. We didn't use this road. She used this road to run back to the car after the deed was done. I still stayed on that side there.
In the driveway?
Yep, in that driveway over there, yep, on the left side of the cement bricks. Walked up by that blue truck up there, and I had my back to the garage. She knocked again, it came to the door.
Okay, and then it happened.
Good.
Now, when you, where you were standing, you see the numbers on the corner there?
Yeah.
Were you standing around that area there?
Yep, right there.
Okay. When Lexi knocked on the door,
Yep.
how far did the door get open?
It wasn't very far. She peeked her head out, and as Lexi was walking towards us, her back was to the door, the woman was looking at Lexi, and then I came around the corner, and it took her maybe, I want to say by the third or fourth shot, I felt like I was shooting the door. She closed the door, and then I opened it back up, and then I think I let two more off, and then I want to say she closed the door again.
You just run at that point.
I ran.
The trajectory runs, the measurements, the autopsy, and all of the shell casings that were found at the scene, everything matched up almost exactly.
The following day, Eric and I went to the Snohomish County Jail, and we saw Kevin. And I told him that we were investigating Alicia's death, and I asked him if he wanted to talk to us about it. He didn't want to talk to us.
We know everything.
We had Jay's picture. That sent a bolt of lightning down his spine, but he wasn't going to show that to us.
Detectives finally have enough evidence to charge Kevin Lewis with Alicia's murder.
We had Jared Phelps testifying on our behalf. We had all the social media evidence. We had the surveillance video. We had everything that we needed to prove it at trial.
In 2020, Jared Phelps and Alexis Hale plead guilty to first-degree murder. Jared is sentenced to 31.5 years. Alexis receives 15 years. In 2022, Kevin Lewis is found guilty of first-degree aggravated murder and conspiracy to commit murder. He is sentenced to life.
This case will never leave my memory to my dying day. The video evidence in this case was hugely important.
It helps police piece together the events leading up to Alicia's murder. Jared and Alexis drive from Spokane to Kevin's house in Everett. Kevin then shows them where Amanda lives and pays them to kill her.
After having gone on a reconnaissance trip with Kevin Lewis and taken him back home, they returned and they approached to the door of Amanda's house. And while Jay is hiding around the corner, Alexis knocks on the door.
Hello? Excuse me, wait!
Kevin remained very consistent with his demeanor. You know, there was times where he would kind of smirk or smile, and I know for the family it was really tough when he was doing that to take the smugness and kind of swallow it down. And we were very confident that we would get the results against Kevin, because he was the evil mastermind that was the one that created this whole thing. Because without Kevin, none of this happens.
I'm glad that he's being held accountable, and life in prison without parole is the most you can get. So that is good, and I'm grateful for that. But it doesn't equal my sister's life or mine. It just doesn't. And so it'll never feel like justice took place. And that hole is still there. That gap in our lives is still there. It didn't fix that. She was shot several times and she still shut the door. She just used every last bit of her dying, her last breath to try to protect the kids. I miss her laugh. It was unique and infectious. I miss arguing with her about ridiculous things. Her and her husband have been amazing parents together. I'm sad that she didn't get the opportunity to be a mom and to have those experiences. I found a message that my sister had sent me not too long before that, and she said, "I'll do anything to protect my family." And she did.
There's no place like our hometown, somewhere filled with history and old homes.